volume looking like? Oh, how loud are we? Oh, we should
Not
be
loud enough. Gotta be real loud.
We should be plenty loud. What was that? What was that voice you did? Sound
What
familiar?
What are you talking about?
Plenty loud, plenty loud.
What? What are you talking? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, they sound a familiar voice. Voice I haven't heard in quite some time. Voice from a long time ago.
What are you talking about?
When I was a boy. Hey everybody. How's
everybody? There's 40 people here.
Yeah.
Hey everybody.
Yeah, I'm saying hello to everybody.
Shoryuken.
Shoryuken, get it? That's a great name.
That's
a great
cool.
name.
That's a cool name.
So
welcome, thank you.
First stream of the year, maybe the last. So.
Oh, Dingo and Klong Knocker. That's a great name too.
We at least about 15 minutes ago, Lisa. Was this the new vaudeville? Do shtick? Don't show off my CDs.
Why can't I show this?
I was gonna show it off. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to show it off. So at least about 15 minutes ago was like, what if we streamed and talk about movies we watched this year? And I said, is that a thing we can do?
Yeah, because we don't do Filmhouse anymore. But people tweet at me and they'll be like, what did you think of this movie?
And you go, I didn't see it. Okay?
I can't say.
Or I didn't see it.
I can't say.
I'm too scared.
I can't say.
But most of what we do with our free time is watch movies.
Yeah.
It's like most of what we do.
Yeah, or like, and I watch movies in chunks too.
I also like to listen to music sometimes.
What is this?
What? It's my CD. It's a CD. Okay? It's my CD. World of Wrestling Rocks.
Can I read some of the
tracks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kick Out the Jams. Freak on a Leash. I'm not reading all of them, just reading some. Seek and Destroy. Cowboys from Hell. The Pile Driver. God of Thunder. New Age Outlaws.
So I was big into This is an actual CD from 1999. So that's 15-year-old James Williams, baby peak James, and so I was really into wrestling theme songs, and so I had all the WWF at the time albums. 23
Bone Crushing Bouts.
I had all the soundtracks. Volume 4, I think, was the best one, in my opinion, but I tried to get my hands on as many, and this is one of the things that I think I found in a CD store. It's like wrestling music, and I was like, oh, I grabbed it, but it's mostly just music that kind of sounds like wrestling.
That makes sense.
So
I wanted to play a level of Inscription, but James was like, what I mean is like just boot up the just play any match, really. What?
I'm getting my Superman hair out of the way. Play any match. There's
No. You don't have it on this computer.
So yeah, it would take forever. Long live Jim Johnston. Goddamn right.
There's one little comment here. Y'all are so cute.
Anyway, Elise was like, we can just go and we can just spend an hour chatting with people and asking what movies they liked and talking about the movies we didn't get to talk about this year.
We watch a lot of shows too.
We watch a lot of shows.
But we'll maybe another time talk about a lot of shows.
And then we get distracted by that wrestling CD. Anyway, my mom was going through stuff, and then she sent that as one of my Christmas gifts. And I was like, that's bullshit, Mom, because I own it already.
Your mother saving your childhood toys works out really great for me because your mom has sent me some really awesome stuff. Can I show you guys a couple? Can I show them some?
Did she text you something about Miss Piggy? I called her today. She asked if I texted you something about Miss Piggy.
Oh, maybe.
I wasn't sure.
Can I show them some of the stuff your mom has sent me? That were your toys that she sent me as gifts. Can I? Okay, yeah. I'll be right back.
All right, go get them. Anyway, we haven't talked about any movies, but we have a big list. Before this, we got together, and while we were eating dinner, we made a list of all the movies we saw this year, as many as we could muster. That kind of like came out in 2021. I think there's some give and take, but that came out in 2021. Some of them she hasn't seen. Some of them I haven't seen, and we figured we would just run by and chat about them, and then also get your guys's if you guys want to toss into chat. This is a chill and chat. This is a chill and chat. So if there's movies, so for example, Hunter Jordan, you seen Licorice Pizza? No, I haven't. I really want to, but I haven't. We've been very choosy. We're in Los Angeles and very choosy about going to movies, when we're going to go to movies and what movies we're going to see. So no, I haven't seen it, but I really, really want to. I know Ryan saw it and he really liked it a lot.
Okay. So remember, these are James's toys.
This, I don't know if it was my toy.
Toys and belongings when he was a child.
I don't know if it was mine.
But now, old Wheezy's reaping the benefits. Okay?
Old Wheezy. Emphasis on the old Wheezy.
This fantastic Legend of Zelda bowl. Look at this. From 1989. That's great.
I'm going to Google that. I wonder if that's...
That's excellent. How great is that? I eat all my meals out of this now.
Cereal bowl.
Oh, I saw
What year is it from? 1989?
Yeah, 89.
Oh, there it is.
And
rare. What?
Is it? Really?
eBay, $58.
Wow.
Wow.
Your parents
wow.
could have made some bank. They could have made some bank. And these California, because I was telling your parents that I loved the California raisins. So it sent me these California raisins wind-up toys. But it's only 3 of the raisins.
Which one's missing?
There were 4 of them.
California raisins. Wind-up toys.
Because it contained lead.
There they are. $42. Wait, is this right? No,
yeah.
This one doesn't have the top.
I also just want to say to everybody that is subscribed to this channel, thank you so much. I know we don't stream and post that often, but it's really awesome of you. So thank you so much. That's why part of the reason I wanted to stream was because I was I feel like it's been a while since we have.
This is just one of them is selling for $11 and it's out of the packaging.
Or not even just if you're subscribed, but I mean the members too.
Yeah.
If you're paying for membership, thank you. I like that.
Nasta.
This is the enemy they chose to put on it. That little guy.
Yeah, I know him. Nasta.
So do I have to buy that separately?
So which ones are the California raisins? It's a musical group, okay, consisting of, the tall one. Probably because he wasn't going to fit in there.
The tall one, of course.
Consisting of...
Of course.
What are their names? Do they have names? Oh, their decline. There's an article here about their decline. What are the names of the California raisins? Of course, they sang "Heard It Through the Grapevine."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Do they not have names? Buddy Miles was the person who did the singing of them. I don't know.
And what else? Okay, and then some other things. So she also sent me. This is from the Saturday Evening Post, the November 1979 cover that she had just saved, and then sent me framed, and it's the Muppets at Thanksgiving, I assume, and it's got Fozzie, Swedish Chef, Kermit, the whole gang.
A.C. Arborman, his younger brother Bebop Arborman, their cousin Red Raisin, and their friend Stanford Stretch Thompson.
Oh, so he's the tall one?
Yeah.
That's probably why he's just a friend.
Sell those raisins as NFTs? Hell no, they're for everybody. Right click, save as raisins. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. How did we get on that? Me having a privileged childhood? Yeah, I know. We all know. Everybody knows. You don't remind us of that, Elise. What were we gonna do? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, we don't even need to look over here. That is the White Tiger Megazord. That is the Mystic Force Power Ranger Megazord. That is a Thousand Sunny that I built. Jacob's not the only nerd here. And then at the bottom is the Shogun Megazord, but you can't really see it that well. I should have titled this video Raising Hell if I knew we were going to be talking about this. Let's talk about movies. Elise? She's gone.
Yeah, sorry, I was busy.
What were you busy doing?
I was just looking at some stuff.
So you want to talk about movies?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we came up with this huge list of movies that we have seen. Some of them I don't even remember. And we were just going to talk through our thoughts on some of these real quick. Movies, 2021, flicks and clicks. Flicks and clicks. That's what we should have called our podcast, Flicks and Clicks.
Why clicks?
Because people watch it. They click on it with a mouse.
I don't know about that.
Okay. The first, these are in no particular order. No particular order.
Wait, you playing too much Wordle?
Yeah, I stopped.
From Jonathan Wardle. I told so many people that game was made by Jonathan Wardle. It wasn't. It was made by Josh Wardle. Hey, Jeff Delgado, what's up?
Jeff.
Jeff, you get that Figment bucket or whatever?
Yeah, did you go to Disney World and wait in line for 7 hours? All right, so the first one, in and of itself.
No. We gotta start with the more recent ones.
These aren't labeled by more recent. I don't have dates here.
Use your eyes. Use your personal discretion.
Spider-Man
No Way Home.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
I get the titles confused.
Because they're confusing. Far From Home, No Way Home, Homecoming. 2, 3.
Hello,
Amazing.
Peeper. I cheered at Hello, Peeper.
Yeah, but you also cheered in the trailers when he said Hello, Peepers. And you
Hello,
also cheered
Peepers.
for yourself when you thought Hello, Peepers was funny and you just say it around. You go, Hello, Peepers.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
No, yeah, guys. Spoilers or no spoilers?
Spoilers? The movie has been spoiled. I know. I have a friend of mine who hasn't seen it. He can't go to a movie theater. He hasn't been able to go and see it. He's waiting for it to come on demand or something like that. The movie's been spoiled 1,000 times for him, just by nature of just trying to go online. No. So we'll probably we won't be spoiling all these movies for sure. But Spider-Man No Way Home.
Hell Knight says Doctor Strange was an idiot in that film.
He was an idiot.
Makes you think he was a Skrull.
We're definitely getting into like serious comic book territory because I feel like.
How do you feel like?
There's so much of it. The MCU is so big now that it really is starting to feel like comics. And one of the things about comics is that they.
John, you're not going to go see Spider-Man.
One of the things about comics is that there's ultimately so much of it that it's hard to resolve it all. Like, it's not one story anymore. There's so much, like, X-Men comics, there's stuff happening in the Savage Land that's also, meanwhile, Washington, D.C. is being attacked, blah, 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 all that stuff. I do think we're kind of getting there with these Marvel movies. Basically, the post-Endgame stuff.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I obviously enjoyed it. Huge Spider-Man fan, huge advocate for Tom Holland Spider-Man. I thought we got, again, spoilers, huge redemption for Andrew Garfield.
It was the best rehabilitation they could have done to that Spider-Man. I would say that for me, well, not exactly the same, but I think that to me, Captain America Civil War did a lot of easy, heavy lifting for Ant-Man. Because I personally didn't find that Ant-Man was very fun in his own movie. But then he appeared in Civil War, and I was like, this Ant-Man's great. Where was he in his own movie? And I felt that kind of way about Andrew Garfield, where I was like, oh, they rehabilitated this character in the context of this film, and it was really, really impressive. And and also I had just seen, prior to that, Tick, Tick, Boom, which is another movie I'll mention, which Andrew Garfield, I guess, just learned to sing for Tick, Tick, Boom. Like, he didn't know how to sing, and then he said he got approached by Lin-Manuel Miranda to do Tick, Tick, Boom, and he said, give me a year to learn how to sing. And so he did, and he's fantastic in that movie, too. And I don't traditionally like musicals, and I didn't really have any concept of I knew that composer wrote Rent, and that was the extent of it, Jonathan Larson, but like I was surprised by how much I liked that movie and how good Andrew Garfield was in it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Spider-Man, I mean, No Way Home's not a perfect movie. There are kind of like goofy parts. Like there's that part when the two predecessor Spider-Men they jump down from the statue and it looks really goofy. And
I mean, I thought the whole introduction of them was a little clunky. Like it was completely carried by Andrew Garfield being super charismatic in that dining room or whatever. Jay Senui says that movie was so good that people actually believe the Garfield movies were good. There was the fun
Gen
stuff
Video
there.
Recontextualizing the Uncle Ben quote as a fixed point across all realities is so smart. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Shorts is here. Yeah, Ryan Shorts. I miss Ryan so much. I miss Ryan so much. Ryan, hi. Ryan says Spider-Man No Way Home was my 25th favorite movie. I saw Ryan's list. There was some stuff I agreed with on your list, Ryan, and I actually felt like Ryan made a lot of brave points on his list.
Old number one.
Okay, well, I haven't seen Old.
Sometimes you can talk with someone about movies and want to pull your hair out because you're like, you don't understand. When you talk with Ryan, not the case. Ryan just knows what he likes. He knows what he likes, and it's consistent. It's consistent. Like, sometimes it's consistently wild, but it's consistent. So when Ryan puts Old at number one, I have no doubt Old is Ryan's number one movie.
I respect it.
No doubt.
Mitchells versus the Machines. I'm going to get flack for this, but Ryan, I agree with you.
Whoa. There's a lot going on in that movie. So we've already talked about Spider-Man for a really long time. I mean, this is a big movie.
Ryan, he didn't love the Spider-Man.
I didn't love it either. There was I thought it was really fun. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit more clever how it navigated all those things, but it was kind of just like, oh, there's a thing. Someone mentioned it earlier. Doctor Strange really took a step down. He's like a petulant child, just so that way the events can transpire. And I was like,
he's ornery, and he's a really ornery dude. If you kind of go back and you watch him in some other stuff in the Marvel universe, he's a pretty saucy dude. I think you feel it. Oh, Matthew Alves and Jeff Hefflinger, thank you so much. Ryan, have you seen? Well, I don't want to pivot. If you have stuff to say about Spider-Man,
we should have had Ryan on this.
Well, Ryan, what are you doing? Can we get him in Discord?
I don't know how I don't know how we'll hear him. It might be more complex. I would love to do it, but it may be more complex than I can figure out right at this moment. But yes. Sorry. And then the only thing I was gonna say, Alfred Molina, fantastic. Willem Dafoe, fantastic. Yeah. Jamie Foxx, super fun. I thought he people were criticizing him a little bit. But I thought he was still playing the weird tone from the Amazing Spider-Man, which makes sense if he's pulled into this other world that he wouldn't necessarily match up with things. Thought Lizard, the whole time I was watching Lizard, I was like, I don't even remember who Lizard was. The actor that played him, I don't remember that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you coming to the office this week?
Come on, you just text him and ask.
Ryan, you see my California raisins?
All in all, really fun. It did not exceed Spider-Verse. No. In terms of me just completely falling in love with the film. But I just think you got to give it to Tom Holland. You got to give it to Spider. We got an MCU Spider-Man. He's doing stuff.
I'm some kind of a Spider-Man myself.
If they put him front and center for the rest, for the next phase, I am there for it.
You know what? Spider-Verse 2. They get Willem Dafoe in as Green Goblin Spider-Man because that's probably an iteration that exists. Mm-hmm. And he says, "I'm somewhat of a Spider-Man myself."
And then Doc Ock comes in. He goes, "Hello, Willem."
Ryan says he'll be there. Let's go. I'm so excited to see him.
Mm-hmm. All right. Should we? What do we got? So many things. I don't even know where to go.
I
Eternals.
want to ask Ryan. Ryan, we watched a movie recently called The Vigil.
He probably knows about it.
Have you seen The Vigil?
He's probably going to be like, "Oh yeah, I was on set for that movie. I was the guy under the sheet. They needed a guy under the sheet. I was a guy under the sheet."
It's a Jewish horror movie, and honestly, like, not much scares me. I watch a lot of horror movies. I really like horror movies. Not much creeps me out. Not much creeps me out. But man, we started that movie late one night, and then I had to turn it off because I was getting a little creeped out. The Vigil. It's
different. Like 11 o'clock at night. You're like, there's this horror movie that's getting amazing reviews for being terrifying. You want to watch it? And I was like,
Taylor Leverage Snake Eyes sequel. When we're due for a Snake Eyes sequel.
I can't believe they made that.
Did they? I thought that was a joke.
No, Snake Eyes. That was a movie.
I know Snake Eyes.
They made it. Yeah, they made a G.I. Joe movie.
Where did it rank? Oh! I'm thinking of the Nicolas Cage movie.
Also Snake Eyes.
Yeah, that's what I thought they made a sequel for.
No, they did not make a sequel to Nicolas Cage.
I was going to ask where it ended up on Ryan's list.
I'm sure if they made a sequel to Snake Eyes, the Nicolas Cage Snake Eyes, it would probably be pretty high on Ryan's list. So.
You got to talk about recent stuff, James. Recent
that's what I was going to say. Should we segue into...
being the Ricardos?
I would say the Eternals as well.
I didn't see it. I had no interest.
You didn't see it. Eternals, just candidly, one of these films on here, I think it's on here. Did you put it on here? Yeah, one of these films on here is my worst of the year.
Yeah.
It is my worst of the year. Eternals is not my worst of the year, but it's pretty close. It was kind of everything that I hated about the mundane Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. And I didn't really like any of them. And they didn't really give me a satisfying explanation. They felt like petulant children, even though they're supposed to be really wise. But the messaging wasn't necessarily that they were immature. I don't know. It didn't play for me what they were going for. And and then the only character that I really kind of was enjoying was Kingo, Kumail Nanjiani's character. He's the only one that seemed like he was having fun and wasn't being so morose the whole movie. And I just didn't like what happened to him in the last act. I was like, that's lame.
Tano Hill's asking about Scream 5. We did see Scream. I would just say, like, if you we talked about Scream 5 in detail, kind of funnies in review series, and so you could go watch that video, and check it out.
Ryan just sent me a picture of himself that said, "I am the Munchkin King."
Ryan.
And it's him wearing a crown, wearing a Munchkin shirt with the mirror you can see in the background him taking the photo.
Ryan, I don't know if you're still watching this stream, but I wish I want you to come over and play Munchkin.
Ryan and I are supposed to go play disc golf at some point.
That
Justin wants to play disc golf too.
But we're supposed to play pickleball.
Drama. All right, that's all. That's all I got to say about Eternals.
Well, what were we talking about?
Eternals. And then you were talking about Scream.
So 5 Scream. Yeah. Scream. Yeah, I would go watch the Kind of Funny Thing. I thought Scream, I love that franchise. I thought it was good, but I think it doesn't hit the mark in a lot of ways people think it does. I don't know. I'm curious what the Munchkin King thinks of it though. Oh, Kaden Goes Quack. Shang-Chi is top of my list. What did you think? I was really surprised by how much I liked Shang-Chi and thought it was great. Like,
some of the best action in any Marvel movie ever.
The martial arts in it were awesome. Mm-hmm. My only problem with Shang-Chi, and sorry, this is a spoiler, but I feel like the movie does so much to sideline the sister, and so you would kind of think that the finale would be, you you think Shang-Chi is going to have the big hero moment, but actually the sister gets it. With the messaging being like, he's not really anyone special, and she has worked as hard as he is and whatever, but I think it kind of like, I mean, I'm sure there are reasons why I didn't do that, but
yeah, I'm not familiar with the Shang-Chi comics, but it did feel like it was a missed opportunity if you were gonna like subvert something, because it's so much about him, but then at the end you could have done like a thing with her to make her a little bit more important.
Yeah, because then the dad doesn't even really care about her at the end.
There was like a weird thing where it was like he kind of forgot that he had a daughter.
Dad from Ottawa, reppin'.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I liked Shang-Chi a lot.
Yeah, it was still, and listen, beautiful to look at. Like every shot is like a beautiful combination of culture and color and like all kinds of stuff like that. I'm into it,
Yeah.
What's next? What do you got? We're just on it. This list is so long.
It's so long. I'm trying to start with newer stuff. Like Don't Look Up is newer.
Jan Batista says best Dragon Ball adaptation. Yeah, I get that. What's on here? There's Ghostbusters. We also Halloween Kills. We also talked about on Kind of Funny podcast.
In review, yeah.
In review, and so
yeah. Don't Look Up is the Netflix one. The new Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, Adam McKay movie.
Harsh satire film.
And Ryan, I don't remember where Don't Look Up ranked in the.
Maybe it was liked it but not loved it.
I need a name for Ryan's list.
What do you mean Ryan's list? Iwido says Don't Look Up is great, very depressing.
Like 2021 movie rankings.
Rankings. Oh my god. I agree with Iwido. I appreciated how deep it went into the satire, but I also think that maybe it was trying to tackle too many things at once. People compared it to Doctor Strangelove, and I get that, but I feel like Doctor Strangelove really focuses on one thing, and it's the Cold War, who finger over the button, launching the nukes kind of thing, whereas this one was we got this government, we have, technology is a factor, how people treat celebrity, our Western relationship with the scientific community and self-doubt and everything like that. And then also apocalyptic, world disaster. There were a lot of things, and I think the scale of it was really large. So it was
So Don't Look Up was Ryan's 16th favorite movie of 2021.
I don't even know how that.
I gotta bring up his list on Twitter. I thought that same thing. There were all those Doctor Strangelove comparisons, and the difference for me was that obviously Don't Look Up is a parable for climate change, and Doctor Strangelove, while it points to a very real possibility of mutual nuclear destruction, which is a definite, escalation spiral and possibility when you're dealing with irrational political actors, it is not a finite outcome. It's a possible outcome for two irrational actors to launch nukes at one another, but it's not an absolute that's going to happen, whereas climate change is an absolute. And so in the comet in the movie obviously is an absolute, so it's more depressing. Doctor Strangelove gets away with being more of a satire because it could happen, but it's not destined. It's not 100% going to happen. So, but with this, it's it's climate change is going to make the world uninhabitable. So it is a bit more depressing. And
a volcano exploded this weekend.
And Timothy Chalamet feels like he was there was no real purpose for him in that movie other than maybe to humanize Jennifer Lawrence a little bit, even though I feel like you don't need to do that to that character. However, he was a fun, weird addition to it.
Timothy Chalamet's got a great agent, and he's going to show up in your movie whether or not you know it or want it.
Yeah, and Ryan, he's having like his a lot of his teams are doing. Do you see this?
Oh no.
Grizzlies, most fun team in basketball. Chargers
You're
had a
getting
great
distracted here. You're just reading off
year.
Ryan's
I'm looking for his
social
movie
media
list.
feed.
Where did he put Scream 5?
He did a joke list.
He didn't even rank
He did a joke list. All right, let's keep moving. We got a lot of movies.
I found the list. Okay, so I found the list of his favorite movies. So he had a total of 45 movies.
West Side Story, Elise. Thoughts?
I don't typically gravitate to musicals, and I've discovered that I am not a musical traditionalist, so your West Side Stories don't really do it for me. It's a really like beautifully made movie. But James?
I thought it was pretty good, but I do think that certain things have changed in terms of what people want to watch. And I think musicals definitely have changed a lot. I'm going to mention Cats kind of as a joke, but also as a serious example, because that was an extremely popular like Broadway musical for decades. And when people like mainstream kind of finally found out what it was, they were like, what is this? And it's like, it's too late. It's too late. Like, it's already out there, and this is already what it's a musical about a bunch of cats singing about cats. That's kind of how I felt about West Side Story. Like, the songs are the songs. I think musically we've changed to a different kind of like less just sing-songy things. Like, you know,
I like Tick Tick Boom because the songs inform the story.
But it's probably I bet the songs are more catchy in general. I feel like the songs in West Side Story are less catchy, but I still thought it was really beautiful. I appreciated that they built like these big sets. It was like filmed in these big locations, and the choreography, you could see it. Like, I mean, it's Spielberg. It was directed incredibly well.
He's phoning it in.
And this is a spoiler for West Side Story, which, again, come on, it's Romeo and Juliet, but it's all only set when my dad's growing up in the neighborhood where my dad grew up in. But there was a point at the end where one character pulls a gun on another character.
Ryan's Munchkin King thing came to me as a email.
Don't worry, don't open that. That's viral. Where one character pulls a gun on another, and they've established that the person has a gun, and we were in a theater with only maybe 2 other people, and one of the people gasped. They pulled a gun and went, and it's like, you know what's gonna happen. It's Romeo and Juliet. Come on. I just thought that was funny. But so I give West Side Story a okay, good. But I also get why no one would like it, and why it's probably not going to do extremely well at the box office, because it's not a movie for now. People want movies like Jungle Cruise.
You finished Jungle Cruise without me.
I did.
I
tapped
lost
out.
interest. In
you
Jungle
tapped
Cruise.
out. You got put in a sharpshooter, and then you tapped out. Didn't like it. Didn't think it was very good. I thought it was kind of silly, and
big man.
I don't know.
Big man, you ever made a movie?
All these movies are trying to be the next Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't think they understand that Pirates of the Caribbean isn't just like an action movie roller coaster ride. Like, it actually has things going on, and I like The Rock. I think he's charismatic, but sometimes when you have him where everyone else is doing like the time period shtick and he's just himself, it does kind of stand out like a sore thumb. So that's my vibes. There's something specifically. Oh, like there's like a reveal that happens, and I felt like maybe it happened a little too early. I don't know. It didn't feel weighty at all. Everything felt like it was on a green screen. Luke Miller, what are y'all's opinions on Pulp Fiction? Good. Classic. I think that director has potential. All right, what's next?
The Beatles Get Back. I didn't finish it, but I watched some of it, and let me tell you, Ringo, he's underestimated.
I didn't see the clip where Ringo asks for help on Octopus's Garden. That's what I want to see. Hey, George, could you help me with the song?
I don't know. Oh, maybe I'll put it if you know. Well, Paul McCartney, he gets real mad at John Lennon still.
I bet he does. It's probably frustrating.
Because John Lennon took a lot of shots at him, said he didn't write a lot of songs, and Paul McCartney's like, I wrote a lot of songs. I wrote
You didn't write enough, Paul.
Rigby.
But Paul, you didn't write enough songs.
I wrote the Eleanor Rigby.
That's just one of the songs. I wrote this one about a lovely meter maid. Yeah, I always did a fun shtick where it was like the Beatles are making all this incredible music, George and Paul and everything, and then Ringo goes, "Say guys, we've had a bunch of good albums. Can I work on a song now too?" And they're like, "Sure, Ringo, whatever you want to do, just stay out of our hair." And then he's like, "It's done." "What's the song about?" "It's about a beautiful garden."
Just any garden,
Is it a garden with a beautiful woman in it, and you're tripping on LSD, and you see all kinds of... Not quite. It's about an octopus's garden at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh my gosh, moist banana pudding. Please, this is so unnecessary. But thank you.
Stolen, you getting your jokes. This person's paying you for royalties
moist
for stolen
pudding.
jokes.
Oh no.
Oh, nice. Once from 165 to 212.
With your help and general bro.
Wow. I mean, I hope that's muscle. I hope you put on muscle.
That's so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, kind of you, and really unnecessary. But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's like, you could steal any joke I make. I would love somebody.
You probably stole them yourself from Kermit or something.
Kermit.
Yeah. Faraday says Eleanor Rigby is the only Beatles song that I like. All right. Okay. All right.
Jeb says, feel like Elise could pull off a Timothy Chalamet impersonation. Maybe. I just learned that his sister is an actress and is in that Sex Lives of College Girls show. Did you know this, James?
No.
Timothy Chalamet's sister. Right? His sister is that one.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We got to it.
And I kind of want to do an Elmo impression after
Rocco.
Oh, I forget her name on SNL. Chloe Fineman just did an. Elmo. I can't really do Elmo. Elmo hates rocks. I can't do Elmo.
That actually was probably one of my favorite films of the year.
Elmo. I can't.
Actually, it's not on here, but I think my favorite film of the year is the story of Leon the Lobster.
Big Boy says, surely Space Jam 2 is the best movie of 2021. I didn't watch it. You watched it.
I did watch it. It wasn't good. It was weird because it felt like it was just a commercial for everything Warner Brothers owned. But at the same time revealing how little Warner Brothers has of like true value, and how they would rather, like, just the fact that there were two kinds of penguins in that audience. I think here's what I want. I think that sometimes maybe you don't make the movie because the movie doesn't make any sense. It's convoluted and the plot doesn't make any sense. But you just get all those extras and all that makeup. You take photos of them, and then I will buy a coffee table book of the guy dressed, because there was like Heath Ledger Joker, there was Joaquin Phoenix Joker, there was Danny DeVito Penguin, there was Batman, the old 60s show Penguin. There was all kinds of things like that, and the idea of someone having to get everyone dressed up and all of that was so funny to me that I can't believe they still made that movie. So that's my Space Jam. Space Jam: A New Legacy. And of course, the Lola Bunnies. They changed Lola Bunny's body.
And the Droogs, of course.
The Droogs were there, yeah. It's just weird when you're watching. You're like, why is this again?
James Young, have you guys seen Leon the Professional? Yeah, 100 years ago. Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Taylor Leverage, Muppets Haunted Mansion. So I think that's the best. We can only hope that Disney keeps figuring out what to do with the Muppets, and I think it's better than we've gotten in a while. You know, and it had a lot of heart, and I heard that there were some complications in production, and what they initially wanted to do with the tech was different, and they did resort to some green screen in the composite. So it was a bit composite heavy. However, I do think if we really think about who Jim Henson was and what he liked a lot of playing with new technology, and I think he would have liked that as much as people were critical of it. Mm-hmm. And I thought that it was very true to a lot of the heart. Oh, Ryan Schwartz, I want to hear James's thoughts on Red Rocket. I haven't seen Red Rocket yet. You obviously haven't seen Red Rocket.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's the Simon Rex movie, where Simon Rex basically he was in
Harlan Williams. He goes to space.
No,
he goes to Mars.
I feel like Simon Rex. He tried to make a transition in the '90s late '90s to a mainstream career. Mm-hmm. And he was on that show Jack and Jill. If you remember that short-lived sitcom with Amanda Peet and Sarah Paulson, where the guy was Jill and the girl was Jack, and Simon Rex. It was like Friends for the 2000s, and Simon Rex was one of the friends. And then he kind of disappeared, but now everybody's lauding his performance in this.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Haven't heard of it.
Ryan, I'm curious to hear your opinion on it.
Andrew Host says, just watched Paddington 2 a few weeks ago, too. It was delightful. Yeah.
I wish Ryan could just join us for this conversation.
Yeah, well, we need to plan these better.
I didn't think he'd be free.
I don't know. What's your best guapo? What's your thoughts on The Naked Gun? Showed us some friends. It still holds up. Classic.
I love those movies.
Airplane. Those are classics.
I love all the Naked Guns, even 33 and a Third, which people maligned a little bit. Speaking of Malignant. Malignant.
Yeah.
What can you say about this movie, other than you have to see it? I love James Wan.
Mm-hmm. That's it? That's all you're going to say about the movie? I got whiplash. The movie goes from campy to seriously trying to scare you to campy again that I couldn't keep up. I don't know. Sometimes when you're watching it, you're like, I don't know if this is intentional. I'm laughing, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing. It's weird. It sends me down this rabbit hole of how did this get made and what did they think was going on? I don't know. It's weird. I feel like if it was a short film, I would have liked it more. But by the end of it, I was like, this can be over now for me. This can be over now. And at the beginning of the movie, the husband, pushes her against the wall. And it was so jarring for me how violent it was that I was kind of like, man, that is really incredibly violent. That's it. It was almost more disturbing than the rest of it. Not
as violent as what they did to Ringo in Get Back. You didn't watch Get Back, so you don't know what they did.
It's all done. The song's done.
Ryan says I'm gearing up for a big munch out. Good luck, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't. The munch out doesn't sound the way you think it sounds.
No, but I hope you win. And I want to play Munchkin with you. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about? Let's see. Cruella.
It was actually better and I think more nuanced than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it would have been. I actually thought I would have liked it more if it wasn't about Cruella de Vil, which of course it wouldn't exist. But the base premise of two people having fashion wars in 1960s London is was kind of cool, but then all of the stuff that was and by the way it's Cruella de Vil, I was like this isn't good. Dalmatians killed her mom. It's okay.
We have to make these dogs.
Dalmatians killed her mom, but then also she likes Dalmatians. It didn't make any sense to me. And if you haven't seen that movie and you have Disney Plus, put it on because every scene has a licensed song that is a literal depiction of what's happening in the scene.
It's like David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Where everything is like just a music video.
She puts on new shoes and goes, "These boots were made for walking." Like everything is a song that is linked to it.
There's so much licensed music in it.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Suicide Squad, I loved the
James Gunn
Suicide Squad.
That was just a pure fun movie for me.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Great humor. The humor hit fantastic. I find that a lot of time, and I know you find this too, but with a lot of the Marvel movies, like they really rely on the packed theater audience experience for a lot of those jokes to land, and then sometimes you watch those movies back at home after and you're like, well, that joke didn't really hit, that joke wasn't that impactful. But I felt like the Suicide Squad was really good.
Very fun. He's very good at giving characters few lines, like King Shark, and just knowing how to like endear you.
King Shark,
to
like him just wanting to be included in as a human type, like him reading his book upside down is so great, and like King Shark, just so good. And of course, I posted that. I posted the what's the squirrel guy? The Weasel. Yeah. I posted the Weasel with Margot Robbie equals me, and it's pretty spot on, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy, I just noticed, says, "Whatever happened to Dalmatians? I saw them as a kid, but nowadays no one has fucking any."
I think they're difficult dogs to train.
I love Dalmatians. I loved 101 Dalmatians, and I had a stuffed Pongo. I had to sleep with when I was a kid.
I had a stuffed Dalmatian too.
And I love Dalmatians, and I remember one time there was an episode of Lassie where there was a Dalmatian that got trapped in a barn and almost died, and I started crying as a kid. And I was like, oh, I want a Dalmatian. Turns out they're pretty horrifically inbred.
Yeah, and I think they can be aggressive. No?
They come with a lot of like issues, and they can be very aggressive. And I think just in general, the whole, getting mutts and stuff and adopting dogs, like I think you're less likely to come across a Dalmatian in that mix, and then they're probably also, but yeah, they're less frequent and much more of a specialty dog.
Nicholas Poole says, thoughts on 007. Mixed feelings myself.
I agree.
Do you want to?
I completely agree about mixed feelings. I love I love Bond in general, and I'm okay with them always doing stuff. I thought the first half of the movie was just fantastic. I was like so into it. Then when they went to Cuba with Ana de Armas, that whole sequence,
that's so good. That
was
part
like
of the movie is fantastic.
So much fun. And then about like the halfway point after that, it gets very self-serious, and I didn't like the ending, not just because of what happened, but I just don't think that is a fun resolution. Like, we've had James Bond for 70 years, and I'm like, you don't need to do that.
I miss Judi Dench.
I miss Judi Dench. That's in the 007 porno. She's Judi Dench. But yeah, so like I was like, it seems like it's taking itself too seriously. And with Spectre, I know a lot of people didn't like Spectre, and I don't think it's as good as like Skyfall.
I like
Casino
Spectre.
Royale.
I think I'm maybe in a margin that I liked Spectre.
I liked it too, but it was weird how it transitioned from like serious Daniel Craig Casino Royale Bond, and by the end of it, he was like picking off people with a pistol, like headshots from like a football field away. And I was like, oh, this one picked up that momentum of like, oh, now he's a fun Bond or whatever.
I personally, I think maybe you were more forgiving to this movie than I was, maybe because you're a huge Bond fan. I liked things about it. I just didn't really resonate with me. I love Léa Seydoux. Mm-hmm. So I love watching her anytime. Which French Dispatch.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, you also we got martinis.
Yeah,
We got martinis
We got
when the movie
well,
started.
because we went with...
And what happened? We went...
Well, we went...
James Bond starting.
We went to see it with Dan and Ryan. So we're all like, let's go see James Bond together.
Yeah, and so we all
got
And then we
get
martinis.
there and we're like, look at the movie theater menu and like, oh, they've got...
a Vesper Martini.
Vesper Martini. And we're like, well, we've got to get these. And so we all like get our martinis and we all like cheer. And then I go to like take mine and I like spilled it on myself. And it's like, okay, so here's the timing, right? I spill the martini on myself. The lights go down. And then I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to be like, my pants are going to like have martini on them for the rest of the movie, which is what it was.
Yep.
But, I powered through. I persevered.
Yeah.
And yet she persisted.
But, for sure mixed feelings with Bond. And then Léa Seydoux.
French Dispatch.
Just
an angel on earth. Could watch her do anything. Like, I know I say this all the time, but, like, I feel like there was an era of actress, like
Hold on, real quick. Paul Redding said, gin is overrated. There. I said what we were all thinking. The James Bond drinks a vodka martini.
Yeah.
So that's what a Vesper Martini has vodka in it. So
I like a gin and tonic, but
yeah. Sorry, you were saying Léa Seydoux.
So there are lots of, I feel like, classic actresses like a Grace Kelly that's this, or Kim Novak, that are like this level of just grace, and I feel like that's not. It's rare to find, like, there's just it's a quality, and I feel like she has that quality. And Mitch M, thank you so much. Mitch. That's like super nice of you, so kind of you. But we talked about how French Dispatch is Wes Anderson unfiltered on steroids, and we both kind of turned to each other and was like, this is like the movie that if Wes Anderson knew he had a terminal illness, he would make. He'd be like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. And then I also think that what was I gonna say? Oh, if you aren't into Wes Anderson's style, then you will probably not be into this, because this is so him. Like, the script is so him, the performances are all him, and then it's shot like him. In Rushmore, the little plays that Max makes are like so goofy. That's the whole movie. That's all of French Dispatch. And it's
a lot of like Royal Tenenbaums, Alec Baldwin as the narrator, doing those little interstitials, where he's reading the play and stuff like that. There is a lot of narration in it too, which is like, it's very unusual for Wes Anderson. But yeah. But I really, really liked it a lot.
I loved it. I loved it too, because again, I'm into it. I like that. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, I mean, and we I think we were pretty long time, because like I would have been in high school when I saw like Rushmore and Royal Tenenbaums, so 20 years ago, and so I've been a Wes Anderson fan for like almost half my life. What an honor! I'm
trying to do the math in my head. And
so I have such a love for his stuff. Jan Batista, Wes Anderson exclusively keeping the tripod business alive.
You're right.
That's every shot is like a tableau, and it with so much detail and meticulous care to it, which I really love about it.
Speaking of Wes Anderson, how about Venom 2?
Which I did not see. Again, I had no interest in it.
Yeah, I did a video about that. I was gonna rip on it, and then Elise was like, "That's so negative. You should be positive about it." So I did. There is a video that I put up on my channel.
I want to hear the positive things you thought about Venom.
It was my top 10 favorite things about Venom, of which I could only think of 5, and most were condescending.
Have you made a movie? Hey, have you made a movie?
I made a movie in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, I haven't made a Venom. I just think it's not.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't talk.
It's really stupid. It's really stupid and not good, but it was 90 minutes long, and I was genuine about the fact that, like, it was a coherent story told in 90 minutes. So we get all these movies that are like Eternals is like 2 hours and like 30 minutes.
People love those Venom movies.
And it's, for me...
People love them, James.
People do love them, but they're not good. They're bad. But but Venom 2 did have Chenum. Mrs. Chen returned.
I was like, why is no one calling her Chenum?
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense how or why. They establish that the Venom symbiote kills people.
She becomes Venom.
Yeah, I know, but he also jumps from person to person and slowly kills them because they're not a match. And so it doesn't make any sense why she doesn't. Like, there's just no rules. There are no rules. They just do whatever they want to.
David Bauer, thank you for watching all over the years. All through the years.
How many laughs do you think over the course of the years? 4.
For David?
Yeah, David's like, thanks for the 4 laughs over the years. Let's see. What else? We don't need to talk about more about Venom. There's going to be 1,000 of those. Oh my gosh. Far From Home, that Venom thing. I love how they like, in, out, get out of our franchise. That's all you get.
Far From Home also, like, was it weird for anyone else that the Doctor Strange thing is just like a trailer?
Yeah, it was weird.
Like,
I felt like they just should have shown this scene where he goes to meet Wanda or something.
Yeah. It's not in a new movie, but it was new to me because I hadn't seen it yet. But Darkest Hour, the Winston Churchill movie with Gary Oldman, we watched that recently. I really like World War II history, and I thought that it was a great movie.
Perfect timing because Steven asked if we only watch lighthearted movies or serious ones as well.
Okay, yeah.
It was good. It was good.
I liked it.
It is interesting how you think of someone like Winston Churchill and, like, if it wasn't for World War II, like, his legacy would have been...
Yeah.
In places, his legacy is not very good.
He would have never been prime minister if it wasn't wartime also.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. Gary Oldman was good in that. What else do we have here? Dune.
The Last Duel, too.
The Last Duel? Yeah, we can talk about The Last Duel.
Okay, even though we're millenniums.
We're millennials. Yeah. We did watch it, even though we're millennials.
We paid $5.99 to watch
it.
I just want Scotty Riddles to know we paid $5.99 to watch your movie, even though you were so upset.
So pissed off.
That nobody went to go see your movie in a pandemic.
Oh,
sorry,
shocking.
Scotty Riddles.
Shock. No one wanted to go into a movie theater to say, watch a gray movie.
Comrade Broski. What do you guys think of the meta things? I really like the Wachowskis. Always rooting for the Wachowskis. I don't think the new Matrix was my cup of tea. I liked Lana Wachowski being like, I'm gonna subvert a lot of stuff. I appreciated it. But yeah, I don't think it was a movie for me. I was never a massive Matrix fan either, I would say, but
yeah, I probably rolled my eyes at most of it too, because like it did the thing where it was like, hey, we don't even care. But then it seemed like it was still trying to, like, you either have to be in or you have to be out. I think you have to be in or you have to be out. And it didn't feel like it was like flip-flopping. And so I didn't. And I also watched the original Matrix, like, right afterwards. And I was like, this movie's incredible. Like, there was nothing that looked or felt like it in that new one. So.
David says it is now 5 laughs.
Oh, we'll get them up there. We'll get them up there.
Maybe 6,
coming for you.
Maybe 6 by the end
One
of
per
the
year.
Stream. We can only help. But The Last Duel.
Last Duel.
So the thing about The Last Duel is it's actually like it's a really well-made, good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, it's kind of weird because it was a long time since they'd written anything together. And there was a third writer, a woman that worked on it with them. And also I think Ben Affleck, it's really interesting because he has a supporting role in this movie that's a little bit of a villain, kind of. And it's actually a big return to a good performance from Ben Affleck, which is probably more of what he should be doing, is roles like this. Their appearance is really distracting.
Yeah,
it's very distracting.
They both are like, how can we give ourselves the nastiest facial hair you can possibly get?
It's a really hard movie to watch for obvious reasons for the subject matter, and like for that reason, I'll never watch it again. But it is a really like well-made movie, and it tells the same story from three perspectives. And a lot of people have done comparisons where they've gone, and you can find them on Twitter, where they show the same scene and reactions as told through those three perspectives side by side. And it's crazy like how nuanced the performances are.
Yeah. Because
it's pretty cool.
It's like Rashomon, right? Like
a little bit.
Where it's like three, but generally in those types of movies or TV or anything like that, where you're seeing things from different perspectives, but generally those use that as an opportunity to tell like three different stories, right? This is how different things can be seen based off the different perspectives. This movie plays it a lot like it pulls things a lot closer to the chest. What?
The Lobster Band says they look like they live in a medieval trailer park.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
And I mean, I think people kind of did. But this one plays it a lot closer because sometimes it isn't like, oh, I thought this person said 4 + 4 is 8. But what they actually said was 4 + 10 is 14. Sometimes it's like closer than that. Like they said 3 + 4 is 7. And so this movie, like Elise was saying, the side-by-sides that you see afterwards, when you're watching the first time, you almost feel like you're watching the same thing again, but it feels slightly different. Like it feels more unnerving, or it feels less comforting or whatever. And then when you watch it side by side, you're like, oh my gosh, just in the slightest tweaks in performance and pacing of the scene, it like gives you a completely different message. And I thought it was pretty well done, but you can't help but watch it now and think about Ridley Scott yelling at you for not going to the theaters to see it, which is kind of wild.
Scotty Riddles, he's wilding out. Jared, thank you so much. The Last Duel is underrated. It's his best movie in a long. Yeah.
So, I mean, he makes like 4 a year, so
Cody
it's
Melton,
hard to keep up.
Thank you so much. My wife and I love you guys. Love to hear your honest opinions on this channel. Thank you to you and her for watching. There was a movie I wanted to bring up.
Just keep this up.
It's
this is our podcast.
One is the worst clone of the other. Oh my gosh. It was a movie that came out earlier this year, and it was a Netflix exclusive, A Bad Trip, the Eric Andre movie. God, it was funny.
Yeah, it was.
It was funny.
Oh, wait, I don't have one loaded up. I was going to try and carve out their mouths, and then we could do the rest of it as these two, but...
And...
Yeah, Bad Trip was fantastic for an hidden camera movie, which is, like, really amazing.
And I don't like in those movies when a pretty, like, innocent, unsuspecting person is just taken advantage of, or, you know...
Yeah.
Like... I like, Sacha Baron Cohen usually targets pretty terrible people. And I liked in this that Eric Andre was the butt of the joke. He wasn't making light of any of the people.
They like took opportunities to make people seem like they were doing the right thing, or at the very least, the versions that they used in this were like, the movie opens with him. He's like vacuuming a car, cleaning it for a guy, and it hooks onto his coveralls and it rips them all off his body, and he's completely naked.
Oh my gosh.
And then the person whose car he's cleaning, he's like, can you help me, please? You got to help me. And whatever version that they picked is the guy like genuinely trying, he's like giving him his coat and everything, and it's funny, but like it doesn't paint the guy in a bad light. It makes him look like he's a nice dude and he's trying to help, but it's so funny.
And nobody makes pure comedies anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're so rare. That's why, like, we aren't talking about shows, and maybe we should do this and talk about shows, like, another day. But, like, MacGruber is the series is just, it's because it's a comedy. It's a pure comedy series. It's not like a dark comedy or, Kevin Osano, I don't know if you guys talked about this already, but are you psyched for the new Batman or no? I am.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I like Zoe Kravitz a lot. Like, I know I've talked about it before, but I loved the High Fidelity series that was on Hulu. I thought she was, like, fantastic in it. I was so bummed when that got canceled. And I'm curious to see what's his face as the Penguin, as Pinguino.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell
As Penguin, and then Paul Dano as the Riddler.
Yes,
I know
as Riddles.
the image that came out, and they're like, "What do you think of the Riddler?" And everyone's like, "This looks terrible." And I was like, "Number one,
Heath Ledger was a bad Joker."
Well, I don't know why you would like share that image because it looks like a costume test. It's like saying, like, what do you think of the Tin Man from Wizard of the Oz? And it's the image of the first makeup test where the guy almost died from the, like, choking on the silver dust. It's like, it looks terrible because it's not in the movie. But I think Paul Dano's an incredible actor. And, I mean, you can only do... This is the problem with rebooting these things again and again so often, is, like, you have to kind of pick something different.
Yeah, like, this one's supposed to be more of a detective Batman, apparently, which sounds cool.
The fact that Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson aren't getting along is more of like that's a bad sign when the lead and the director are not on good terms.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes, Blade 3.
Yeah.
You know, I think he was framed.
You think Wesley Snipes was framed?
The stories that came out.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if I've heard.
I think it's lies.
But I think it'll be fun. I always think that they're trying to make these things be big franchises, so they'll leave it too open-ended, which will frustrate me, but oh well.
Mm-hmm. Ben texts they aren't getting along. I haven't heard that. Did you make that up?
I'm pretty sure that was like a thing. I'll check my sources. Matt, my sources are Google.
Yeah, let me check my
Robert
sources.
Pattinson reportedly refuses to work with Matt Reeves. I mean, these
are gossip rags.
I mean, yeah, they are gossip rags, and neither of them have come out and said anything. But I've seen this more than once, saying that like they're not getting along. Anyway.
Oh, Joseph Gutierrez. Speaking of Paul Dano, I just watched Prisoners last night. Prisoners is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Prisoners, which is. Also Denis, right?
Denis Villeneuve.
Isn't it?
Oui, c'est ça.
So then we should talk about Dune!
Denis!
I like David Lynch's Dune. Dune is like such a spectacle. Such a wild spectacle. The scope of that, like the scope and scale of some of those shots are like, oh my gosh, this is...
The Baron.
This is amazing, and the costumes.
With his dress.
The performances are really great. My only issue is I really wish they figured out how to make it one movie. I know it's probably... I haven't read the books, and everyone that has said it's impossible. But it really just ends. Like the climax is in the wrong spot for me as someone who had... This is what happened with Harry Potter. I didn't read any of the Harry Potter books, and I just went to see the movies, and I was like... What happened? Like, what happened? Like, no, you don't understand. On page 53, he found that thing in a book that was written by Snape when he was 12. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't in the movie, though, so I don't know that. Beautiful, but I thought it was just, like, too much for me as someone who hasn't read the books. And I really wish they made it into more of a movie and less of, like, a faithful adaptation. I don't think
Patrick's going to be happy to hear it.
Patrick loved it, so... Patrick only watched 90 minutes of Eternals before he had to turn it off. So
that's his story to tell.
But I am excited for part 2 of Dune. Of Tune. So, what else we got on here?
What else we got here? Let's see. We got...
Being the Ricardos.
Being the Ricardos. That was interesting.
I thought it was an entertaining movie.
If that was a weird, because like we usually watch movies, it's the evening. Mm-hmm. That was an instance where it's like 8 a.m. We put on
we did.
Being the Ricardos.
What happened that day?
I think it was one of those things where it was the holidays. It was like the holiday break, and so all bets are off, and it's like raining in LA. And put on the Ricardos Being the Ricardos at 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. What do you got to lose? We're done by noon.
We were done by noon. We had the whole day. In the Heights. I didn't finish it, but
look at the fireworks.
Like West Side Story, it's always nice to see where my poppy came from.
Oh my god, get over yourself.
I had to tell Elise, I was like, that's my dad's neighborhood. This is about my dad's community. And it seems so silly, and it's so funny looking at me, and like knowing me. But it's like my dad's like, "Oh yeah, I was watching In the Heights, and I was like, that's my street." Like, "Oh, we used to go swim there," and like, "Oh yeah, me and my family, mi familia, would like go and like do that. Oh, we had our little shop there. Puerto Rican, ice cream man or whatever would always come by and stuff." So,
I
real quick, Joe Roberts says, Dune 2, we're Dune it again. Nice job.
I liked In the Heights. Again, not like a big person on, when it comes to musicals, but I thought a lot of the songs were really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like we put it on and it didn't click, but then you continued watching it and then you like had the songs.
Well, and also I went to Austin to make Last Laugh. And I was hanging out with Josh Flanagan and Nadia.
Right.
His partner Nadia a lot.
Yeah.
And they really loved it. And so they were playing the soundtrack again and again and again. And I think that's how and I think we watched it again, maybe. I don't remember.
I think you did, yes. They were like, yeah.
Yeah, so then it grew on me. But
let there be damage.
okay, the Mole Agent.
Mole Agent.
This may have gone under some people's radar. This is, if you like documentaries especially, we should look up the like synopsis of the Mole Agent too.
I can tell you what it is.
Please.
All right.
Where is it set?
Vuvuzela.
I forget some of the specifics of it.
Is it Venezuela or?
It was somewhere in South America, right?
Oh, that's fine. Narrow it down and not Chile.
Oh my gosh, the engine. Thank you so much. That's, again, like, please, you don't
part
have
of the
to,
internet. Have you heard of Flash animations?
You guys do
Newgrounds?
not have to you do not have to give us these huge donations. Like, this is fun, and obviously, like, get kicked back when we post the VOD. I appreciate the engine. That's like super generous of you and so nice. I appreciate you so much. But I do something nice for yourself, though.
Yeah. I also want to apologize because normally we have an overlay that shows people that donate, but I didn't have it on. So I apologize for not giving people due credit. So
yeah, the Mole Agent.
The Mole Agent, Chile. So it's a documentary, but if you, like, you just put it on, didn't know what it was.
I knew what it was.
You know what it was. I didn't know what it was. And I thought it was a movie because it's so
cinematically
made.
It's cinematically shot.
It's shot like a film noir, and I don't know how it's just the way they place the camera and the way they film things. It's not like a regular documentary.
You gotta watch it, guys.
But basically, the basic premise is this person hires a detective agency because they think the old folks' home, the retirement community that their mother is in, is abusing them.
Elder abuse.
Is doing elder abuse. So they hire this detective agency who then finds someone. A mole agent. Yeah, who finds someone to go undercover. And they basically do it by like putting up like a Craigslist ad. Yeah. So they get like a bunch of candidates and it follows that whole casting process. They're looking
for like a very sharp older person they can send in who will conduct interviews and like surveillance and go undercover and try to detect if there's any of this abuse going on. But the person they find ends up being maybe the sweetest, kindest man to ever live. Yeah. Yeah. And he's like kind of like goofy, not incompetent, but like he takes it very seriously, but he's also very silly. Like the idea of him going into this place but he ultimately like the community falls in love with him as like, because he's so nice to everyone and he's so genuine. It looks like it's still on Hulu. You have to watch it. It's like, it's a very life affirming kind of
There movie. Is goodness in the world.
The Mole Agent. Yeah. I can't recommend it enough. Cody Melton, thank you so much. The Mole Agent. Yeah. I'm gonna just type it in chat there maybe. But it's like, and especially if you like documentaries, it's great. Yeah. Duca says, James, why does your shirt say locals only?
This is a shirt.
Clean Aesthetic was this.
Yeah, from a store called Clean Aesthetic, which is in Playa del Rey.
Well, no longer.
It's not there anymore, but they made a lot of shirts that you've seen James Willems wear over the years.
And the locals,
Sapreme is my Sapreme shirt.
The locals only is the like beach, like if you gotta be like a beach local, which we were not. But
I'm not a local, but I wear a locals only shirt for a community of which I am not a part of. Yeah. I like irony, I guess. So all right, let's see. We have a couple of these that we haven't touched on.
Candyman. I can't say a word. I can't say another word.
All right, don't say it. That movie, I thought it was okay.
I thought there were some really cool parts to it.
There were some cool parts.
And is it Jonathan Majors? No, who's in Candyman? It's not Jonathan.
No. It's one of those things, and there's a couple of these movies where the movie ends and you're like, that was okay, and then the end credits happen and it's like some wild animation and you're like, I would watch that as a movie.
Yeah. Remember he did that Full Frontal in Watchmen? Oh
yeah. Yeah.
So he did that Full Frontal in Watchmen? Mm-hmm. We all remember that.
Let's Google it.
He was great in it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there was a lot of good.
Yeah, it kind of came and then it went. Let's see. Black Widow.
I mean, obviously, Flo is the best part of that movie. Mm-hmm. She's delight. And her little vest thing, and she does her little Slavic accent. It was very good. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. It came too late is the problem. It came too late. It was
too late in the Marvel.
It was like
a timeline. It was too late.
It was a little. It missed the window when it should have happened, and I think they knew that. So it was like weird that it was flashing back to a movie and then telling you a bunch of events that didn't necessarily matter all that much, and then I got frustrated because I was like, oh my gosh, Yelena and the Red Soldier, what's his name? Captain Red or whatever.
The Red Scare?
Captain Russia or whatever. David Harbour's character were so fun. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, I would have loved to have seen them in like Infinity War Endgame or something like that. So it was, I don't know, ultimately it was like, this seems like a side story. It kind of reminded me of The Wolverine, where Wolverine goes to Japan, which I also rewatched again recently. I was like, this is a side story. We'll probably never think of this ever again.
And Ralph Wynn, thank you so much. Watch us more on Netflix or cable. And loves movie talk. Well, I'm glad that we're doing some movie talk tonight then. Daniel Krupa, I just want to say I love y'all. Thank you so much. And New Muppet Movies, I would love a New Muppet movie. Mm-hmm. But I don't mind these little, hour-long specials on Disney Plus, too.
But you want more.
I want more. Cameron, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out.
Let's see. What else?
There's one.
There's a lot in here. Raya and the Last Dragon, I thought was really pretty and really fun.
And, what's her name? Awkwafina was really good in it.
Mm-hmm. She was the titular Last Dragon.
8-Bit Christmas.
8-Bit Christmas? What thoughts?
I thought it was good.
It was fun. Yeah.
It was good.
It was fun. It was like we were talking with someone about it, and it was like, A Christmas Story is such a rose-colored glasses version of that time period. And I felt like this was the same thing with the 80s. I was like, well, this is when I grew up too, and it wasn't exactly like this. But it was fun seeing it, and they acknowledged how garbage the Power Glove was. And
that was fun.
It had good goofs, and I thought all the kids were really fun. I think that's like the biggest thing is like the kids are really fun.
Recanted Forger. I love seeing you guys talk films on movie game. Kind of funny. Film House. It's always a treat. Take care, dudes. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for hanging out. I love talking about movies. So, mm-hmm. I think we should do this again where we talk about a lot of the TV shows that we've watched because we do watch a lot of TV too, and also a lot of the other movies, because there's so many. I use Google. James introduced me to it. I use Google TV app to track movies I want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like so much. There's this movie. Oh, no.
We can only talk about movies we've seen, not
There's
movies
so
we
much.
intend to
There's
see.
so much that we haven't seen too, that we need to watch.
I'll throw one out here. We teased it at the beginning. James Willems' worst of 2021.
Oh, someone asked about Ghostbusters Afterlife. I loved Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, yeah. Ghostbusters Afterlife is not my worst of 2021. I really, really like that movie.
I thought that it was like the right amount of reverence, because I think that us Ghostbusters fans are very reverent to the franchise, and I think it mirrored that very well, and I liked it a lot.
I just thought Phoebe
She was fantastic.
was just such Phoebe in Podcast, who in any other movie would have been like insufferable to watch, were just so fun on screen. And I don't have anything against Finn Wolfhard, but the trailers definitely made it seem like it was more his movie, but he was definitely a side character to like her kind of adventures and stuff. And so I think that I really, really enjoyed it. But now, worst of 2021. James Willems' worst of 2021.
Roll the graphic.
And it kills me because the people behind it I like a lot.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, worst of 2021, Home Sweet Home Alone.
Say it ain't so.
Worst movie I've seen in a really long time. I've never seen something get everything wrong at every turn of the phrase. Every time they made the new decision, it was all wrong. And it isn't even about how it compares to the original. As a standalone thing, it didn't make any sense. The kid is terrible, and we know he can be good because he's in Jojo Rabbit and he's fantastic. He's insufferable. The robbers are the adults who had something stolen from them. The reasoning for them none of it makes any sense.
An ugly boy. They have an ugly boy stolen.
They had the fact that they can't. It would all fall apart if anyone just referred to...
It's all just a mix-up in nomenclature, right?
A doll is taken.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they call the doll an ugly boy.
D-Town Sandwich says there's no bad guys in Home Sweet Home Alone.
Well, the kid is kind of a bad guy because he's kind of a prick. There's one point where he steals toys from a church donation. And I'm like, we're not going to address that?
We've all done it.
And so I couldn't stand it. I thought it looked like garbage. They like had this tiny little backyard set. It looked like trash. At one point he puts VR on a guy's head and he doesn't know it's on. Okay. He thinks he's teleported to a cliff.
James, in that guy's defense, I watched a clip today of this woman who's in VR and she like throws some grenades. Mm-hmm. And then the grenades go off, and then she runs into her fireplace.
I also saw that clip. The difference there is that there's a difference between going into VR and feeling immersed with it, and not realizing you're in VR at all.
Master Shake says Jeff recommended the new Home Alone, so you're gonna have to have
Jeff Ramsey.
So yeah, this is gonna blow up in your face. This is gonna blow up in your face. It was
terrible.
This is
horrible garbage. I was so angry watching that movie. Everything was bad about it. Everything was bad.
John Cena, Congina, thank you so much.
And it was funny writers, and all the actors were great. Like, so...
I like Mikey Day.
It was terrible. It was so terrible. I hated it. Worst of 2021.
Joseph Gary says, I've been a fan for over a decade. I was talking to someone who isn't too much into the stop motion movie scene outside of watching Dark Crystal. Have you seen The Mad God by Phil Tippett? I know the name Phil Tippett. Why do I know the name Phil Tippett?
I don't know.
I don't think I've seen that. Congina, I know you're talking about movies, but watch Mr. In-Between on Hulu. It's a series, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let me add this to my list. But also the great thing about the Google TV app is it will show you the Rotten Tomatoes aggregate score. So I'm telling you, if I search for this Mr. In Between and it doesn't come up with a good score, we're gonna 95%. Okay, you get it.
Wow.
You get by this time.
Wow, Sangina, huge.
Sangina.
Wouldn't it be
Sangina?
Sangina?
I guess because Cena, yeah. I guess it would be.
Anyway. Were you talking about Fast 9 being awful? No, I didn't see Fast 9. I haven't seen many.
We were watching the Fast and the Furious movies.
Which one did we get to? 7? 8?
We watched Paul
7.
Walker drive beside Vin Diesel as the "See You Again" song played.
That's 7, I think.
Was that the last one we watched?
That's the last one we watched because we didn't watch 8, Fate of the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and Fast 9.
We watched Encanto.
We watched Encanto. I liked Encanto a lot. Gonna get flack for it because I know TikTok loves it. I wasn't crazy about most of the music. I like the Bruno song, but some of it, and this is me being I'm admitting to this, taking it all on my shoulders, being an old person. Some of the rapping, I couldn't keep up. I was like, I might have to turn subtitles on.
But your dad's from the neighborhood, and
they didn't rap in the way and in the Heights.
Yeah, they spoke. They did some fast.
It was too fast for it was too fast. Lin-Manuel, he was too fast. But I mean, as a whole, loved the movie. I thought it was beautiful. I love the story and the location and the setting and the animation was. Oh my goodness.
Scratch and Tack says, James, I played Psychonauts because of you.
I love to hear it. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, we're talking about best games of the year. Because I got one.
Inscription? Is it Inscription?
Inscription was great. But no.
Is Psychonauts 2?
It's Psychonauts 2. We have a couple here. I only have a couple left.
Just say the names of the other ones.
In and of itself. I don't even remember it.
It's the Magician.
Oh, right. The Magician Special. Mm-hmm. I thought it was fine.
Coming to America.
You can't fake cry when you also say that it's your 400th performance or whatever. That's fake cry. I know you're faking it. The Vigil. We talked about it.
It was great. Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Mm-hmm. It was fine.
It was, I don't know. We had just watched Coming to America. And I thought that I was like, oh my gosh, this one's so great. And it just didn't live up to it.
Army of the Dead, no bueno.
Oof. Here. Zack Snyder apologist. I'm a Snyder head. Have always said so. He's losing me on this one. Army of the Dead was too long, way too long, and it was not it's like it forgot how awesome the premise was of like mercenaries sneaking into Vegas to do a heist during zombies.
Is just, mwah.
But then there was like so much other stuff with zombie babies, and he loves zombie babies.
Nobody.
Oh yeah, nobody with I can't blanking on his name. Better Call Saul. What's his name?
David Cross and Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk is fantastic. Long overdue to be getting his due.
Yeah.
Nobody is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Loved it. It was because we're getting to the thing now where we get John Wicks every 6 months or whatever. But I like when you take the John Wick premise, but then you put someone else in that, and I thought it was great. So let's see.
The Tina Turner documentary. It was fine.
It was sad.
Shiva Baby.
It
was good.
Good. You put it on, didn't know what it was, and I was like, oh, this is stressful. Moxie.
It's fine.
It was okay. I thought it was just okay. There's a point in it where they rip on Great Gatsby, and I'm like, you clearly don't understand Great Gatsby.
Werewolves Within, Sam Richardson. It was great. Great time.
Sleeper hit for me. I love that movie. I thought it was so much fun.
The Green Knight. I like The Green Knight more than you, I think.
It was a little slow.
I liked it. And I really liked the character design of the titular knight.
Yeah, it was pretty.
The eponymous Green Knight.
Yeah.
What else?
Almost everything.
I know there's more movies we watched, especially like
Snyder Cut.
I like the
Snyder Cut.
I like the Snyder Cut.
We watched it. We enjoyed it. It was too long to be an actual movie. It was an event. It wasn't a film. And I also think it's hard to watch when you know how bad the other version is. But yeah, a lot of the people all the movies that you guys are throwing in chat, we have already discussed.
There's a lot.
Coda
We haven't watched yet.
You didn't watch Coda. Super Dave doc. Just watched it. Elise, take it away.
Well, when I was a kid, I watched a ton of Super Dave. There are lots of things that I think were very formative of my sense of humor. And Super Dave was definitely one of those things. Love Bob Einstein.
We both are big fans of his, but you were broken. You were like brokenhearted when he passed away. But yeah, love that. It was a great documentary. He's so funny. He's so funny, and everyone in it is so funny. And I think the best thing you can do with someone is, like a comedian is like make something that's reverent, but then also is funny too. And that documentary hit it for me. So.
I know there were more movies we watched this year.
I mean, we watched a ton of movies, but not all were from 2021.
Oh, My Octopus Teacher, you watched that, right?
I loved it. It's one of those things too where it's like, when the documentarian is the one telling the story, I'm like, how much of this is true? But even if it isn't, it's like, it's like sitting at a campfire and some guy's telling you the story about the meaningful relationship he had with an octopus. And of course, as you know, my number one film of the year is Leon the Lobster. The story of Leon the Lobster and him being rescued from a grocery store and living his best life in his brand new aquarium. Doesn't get any better than that, so... You haven't watched that yet, huh?
I can't because I participate in the lobster races, so...
You can't anymore. Lobsters got central nervous system. We have to treat lobsters with respect, like Leon. Bo Burnham's Inside. We watched that.
Yes, I mean that he does that.
Yeah,
is incredible.
I don't even. What's like a weird art thing? Like I don't even know. Where you would count that. Black is King.
Oh. I watched Black is King twice,
yeah.
But that was not. Wasn't that last year?
Was it?
Everything's blending together. It's so hard to tell. The Beanie Baby documentary on HBO Max is a nostalgic. It's a nostalgic and it provides perspective to certain situations in our current economy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Oh, Pig. We didn't finish Pig. We didn't finish it. No, we didn't finish it. I think our rental ran out or something. There's the other one that Nicolas Cage is in. The
Color Out of Space.
That was the prior year. This was the Five Nights at Freddy's one.
Oh, what was that movie?
Wally's Wonderland or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Titane we haven't seen yet. And Yellow Jackets, we only watched the first episode of Yellow Jackets because we don't have Showtime or whatever it's on.
Yeah.
Isaac Indigo, good evening to you. Thank you for being here.
I feel like that's everything.
We watched Midnight Mass.
All the stuff you guys are saying in chat, we've I think we've covered already.
Some of these are shows too. We'll have to talk about all the shows that we've watched.
Yeah.
Because you're just listing a lot of shows. But
I'm trying to think. We might
have to go to watch a movie.
Yeah, it's about that time. Honestly, it's what we do. And again, it's not always... I've been putting on movies when I work out, and mostly it's like garbage movies. So like, there's a ton of other stuff that I've been watching recently. Like,
what did I see? I was just looking at a queue for something, and there was something I saw.
Green Lantern, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The Wolverine I mentioned, Speed 2, Cruise Control. There's so many. So many movies. I'll go like, all right, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Related movies to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And
you just watched the Doom movie from...
Oh, yeah, Doom. Watch Doom. Great stuff. All this stuff that I've seen. Power Rangers.
Tales from Earthsea? Who was watching that?
I didn't finish it. I was watching it after you fell asleep.
The Last Emperor?
Didn't finish that. I need to go back and finish that. Yeah. A lot. War and Peace. I watch a lot of movies. So... But I think that's been plenty. You guys have been super fun to do this chat and stuff, and we would like to do this more. We still have to finish It Takes Two and Resident Evil. Wheezy, did you get a message? Can we show this?
No, we can't show it.
Why not?
Because John said it's private.
No, he didn't.
Don't show my stuff. Don't. No, that's private. That was a private.
He says.
My favorite weather is the one with the robots.
That was private.
I don't even know what he's saying.
That was private.
Anyway.
I know. It was private.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Yeah, we need to do a TV show chat.
Nathan Zed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Patrick Kinnear says, yo, you guys like Dark Souls and Elden Ring? Elden Ring hasn't come out, yo.
I've never played a Dark Souls.
But what's the one you like, Ghost of Tsushima?
Sekiro.
No. Sekiro.
I played Sekiro, and I also played Demon's Soul. Demon's Souls.
Nathan.
And I'm probably going to play Elden Ring.
Nathan Zed
Right now I'm playing Guardians of the
recommends
Galaxy.
The Looming Tower on
That's
Hulu.
Nathan Z. He didn't pay in C dollars. Okay? Okay.
I will add that to my list, Nathan Zed. Thank you. And thank you so much for your patronship.
Evan Smith, John got exposed.
That was a personal between friends. That wasn't
Moon Knight trailer coming out, and of course we didn't talk about Morbius because it's never coming out. April 1st? Yeah, I'm not going to fall for that, Jared. Yeah, right. I'm not falling for that, Jared.
Well, I don't know if I want to watch this.
Uh-oh.
I only like history if it's World War II.
I just looked at it and said, Bin Laden. Yes. Anyway, gotta try Bloodborne. I did try Bloodborne. I didn't get into it, but that's me. I get why it's great, and I've watched other people play it. But yes, that's it for us for tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is a ton of fun. At least great idea. Great idea that we decided 15 minutes in.
I'm upset with you now because you exposed John.
John exposes himself daily. And so, yeah, we will probably be back sooner than later. This is a 3-day weekend. We had a little bit of free time this evening, Sunday night.
Elijah, thank you. Hello, wonderful to see you.
What are we going to watch tonight, Elise?
Let me check the list. It depends what are you in the mood for.
We're going to watch this full-size poster for Mighty Morphin the Power Rangers movie that I have in plastic because it's made out of wood. And I don't know where I'm supposed to put this thing. And it's got signatures, but I don't know who. It's the it says to VFX. And it's Power Up signed by someone. Don't know.
Let's see. Okay. What do we got here? What will we watch? It looks like take Encanto off of there.
This is taking too long.
Well, no. There's this movie, Conspiracy.
Conspiracy Theory starring Mel Gibson.
This is the story of the top secret Nazi meeting to debate the merits of Hitler's final solution. Kenneth Branagh and Stanley Tucci. 2001.
Sounds like a blast.
We could watch... Let's see what we got here. I wish I could rent... I would pay $20 to rent Nightmare Alley from home. We could watch Val, the Val Kilmer documentary. We could watch Stray, about those dogs. We could watch Titan. We could watch... I don't know if I want to spend $20 to rent Last Night in Soho.
Soho?
Soho.
We didn't see Last Night in Soho. It's definitely on the list of things that came out this year.
We could... Why did my list keep doing this stuff?
So much on the list. Well, we're going to continue working on this. Ben, thank you for joining me. And come back anytime. We love having you on the show. And, tell us, we said, hey, Matt, how are things? And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.
I wonder how Ryan's doing at Munchkin.
He's probably winning. Again, when I said to Ryan, I was like, hey, do you want to play some disc golf? He was like, I'll beat your ass. And I was like, it's really not that kind of a game. So, but
you gotta
thank
pose,
you, Ben.
You gotta pose for the thumbnail here.
Is this the thumbnail?
You and Matt do.
I guess I have to make us into that thumbnail, huh?
No, not necessarily.
I have to now. Well, now you know how the thumbnail ended up the way it is.
Doesn't it look like...
Your sensual touch here.
Doesn't it look like his arm?
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see ya. We'll see you soon.